Welcome you all to the series of MATLAB tutorial. My last session was about an introduction to MATLAB. There I covered why and what is MATLAB, basic features, environment windows, use cases, MATLAB variables, and how to get a MATLAB help. Now this is a time to get more accelerate and step into the next level to start using a MATLAB. Today I'm gonna cover MATLAB programming basics. This is the entry point for the learners to understand the programming in MATLAB. We will begin by talking about MATLAB syntax. Again, we will go more little bit deeper in MATLAB variables with a live demonstration. Then what is MATLAB commands, and finally I will talk about the MATLAB M files. And as usual, I want to keep this session mixed with theory part along with a live demonstration of few examples to make you more engaging and understanding. MATLAB syntax in the editor, live editor, app designer, and MATLAB online command window. If a function has a multiple syntaxes, you can use the drop-down arrow to the right of the syntax to show all available syntaxes. Alternatively, use Ctrl plus down arrow to show and hide the additional syntaxes. When you type the name of a function followed by an opening parenthesis, MATLAB shows the basic syntax information for the function. Few highlights about the MATLAB syntax. Keywords are always in the blue color. Character vectors and strings are always in the purple. Unterminated character vectors always are in maroon, and comments are always green. So if you go through any of the live editor or any of the app designer or editor window, and if you see the blue color statement, purple, maroon or green color statement, you can easily understand what that syntax is meant for. Now let's jump for some practical sessions and relate the theory with the live examples. So we are talking about MATLAB syntax, and this is how the MATLAB looks. I explained each and every window in the previous session. This is a command window, this is MATLAB editor. But if you want to start from the beginning, you can come here and create a new script or new editor, and here is the file is open. Now let's talk one by one. So I covered in the theory part that is in the editor, and this is a MATLAB editor, and this is a command window, right? The editor, live editor or the app designer. So if your function has a multiple syntax, we will take a one function which has a multiple syntax. You can use the drop down arrow, right? So let's try with the any of the function. Let's say plot is there. So if I say plot, and if I just type a plot, then if I use a down key from the keyboard, you can see the function. Here is the plot function, here is the plot function. So there are different plot functions are there. It is clearly visible here. This is how MATLAB syntax help you. And if you come to the command window, live command window, and if you just type here plot, it also shows you what are the different functions are there. So this is the beauty of a MATLAB, and this is how you can use the MATLAB syntax. And the best another example is if you just write any of the function. Let's say I write any function plot and open the parenthesis. It shows you all available options associated with that specific function, right? If I drop down here, the plot can be written with this syntax. Again, the plot can be written with this syntax, and these are the different MATLAB syntaxes. But if you just open the parenthesis, I have not even closed the parenthesis. If you open the parenthesis, it shows you all different MATLAB syntaxes. The next point which I covered, and that was about the MATLAB syntax highlights. And first highlight was keywords are always blue. If I start, let's say I'm using if, and I'm trying to end this. Now don't focus on how I started this writing the if and why I'm ending this, but try to focus on understanding the MATLAB syntax. I will definitely cover this part in the later stage. What is if else statement, how to write that, what is for loop and everything. But at the moment we are focusing on the MATLAB syntax. And if I write if and if I end this, it is clearly visible in which color, and the color is a blue color. So this is a keyword actually. If I try, let's say function, and if I try to end that function. So if I just write a function or text function, that is also in which color? It is a blue color. So whenever you see this, you can easily understand this MATLAB syntax is all about the keywords. So these are the keywords. The next highlight about the MATLAB syntax was character vector and the strings are always purple. So let me try with any of the character. So if I just using the character and I'm trying to write something here, let's say welcome to MATLAB programming. Okay. So when I type MATLAB programming here, so which color you can see here? The color is a purple. So this is up. Always remember, if I'm trying to create, let's say, any matrix out of that or any string, I'm writing any, just write the string here. Now I'm trying with the vector. So if I create the vector, let's say A1 is equal to, and I'm writing something inside this opening, and I'm writing here something like A, or let's say I created this way B, right? So this is how I created, and which color it is. This is a purple color. So character vector also is a purple color. If you write any string, which I wrote earlier, that is welcome to MATLAB programming, that was a string, that is always in the purple color. The next MATLAB syntax highlight was unterminated character. So let's try with this only. I'm taking the example of, let's say, A is equal to, and if I open the square bracket, if I close that, and if I write here like, let's say A, B, C, but I have not terminated that. Let's say I'm not terminating that. Okay. So which color is this? This is a maroon color. And that is what the unterminated character vector always shows or present in the maroon color. And the last MATLAB syntax highlight was comments are always green, and comments are written in MATLAB script is with the symbol percentage. So if I write percentage and write anything, welcome to MATLAB programming. So this is, which color is this? This is a green color. So comment is always written by percentage symbol, and whatever you write there, it always reflects in the green color. So this is all about the MATLAB syntax. But after relating the theoretical part with the practical sessions, and if you compare the MATLAB scripting language with the other programming language like Python and C++, definitely in your mind, one question would be there. And that question is MATLAB syntax similar to the Python? Here is the answer. Python treats everything as an object, while MATLAB treats everything as an array. Fundamental technical difference influences many other aspects of syntactic variations between two. And again, the second question might be there, is MATLAB syntax similar to the C++? Here is the answer. C++ uses a C-like syntax, which include the use of curly braces for code blocks and semicolons to terminate statements. MATLAB, on the other hand, uses a more concise syntax with the implicit loop handling and automatic memory management, resulting in more readable and compact code. And that is the beauty of MATLAB. If you see, all these are the benefits over the Python and C++ language when you look for the MATLAB scripting or MATLAB programming. I already have covered few points about the variable. Variable name must start with the letter, may contains only letters, digits and underscore. MATLAB is a case sensitive language. So whenever you define the variable name, you need to be very careful. The MATLAB only recognizes the first 31 characters in the variable name. Do not have to declare variables before assigning values. To view and edit variable, you can use the workspace browser and the variable editor. Variables are listed in the alphabetically order in the workspace. And a few more points which already have covered, but again I'm covering here, that is the special characters. And that special characters are answer, that is ANS, pi, EPS, infinity, not a number, and command involving variables, that is who, which are used to list the name of the defined variables. Whose is the names and size of the defined variable. Clear all variables reset the default values of a special variable. Clear name, which clears the variable name. CLC clears the command window. CLF clear the current figure and the graph windows. And the last important point, that is the variable must have the values before they used. Now let's see more in detail in the practical. Let's have the hands-on on these MATLAB variables. In MATLAB environment, every variable is an array or matrix. So you can assign variables in a simple way. For example, let's start with a variable. Let's say A is a variable and I'm assigning a value 10 to this variable. Now as soon as I define this variable and if I run the script, this variable is created. So ideally what is happening here, you are defining a variable A and initializing it with a value of 10, and that is initialized. So MATLAB will execute the above statement, this statement, and return this results, that is A is equal to 10. So what ideally the MATLAB has done, it created one by one matrix, and that name of the matrix, if you see here, it is showing the matrix, and the name of the matrix is A, and stored the value 10 in its element. So 10 is a actual value stored in the matrix element. Let's check another example. So what I will do now, let's say B is equal to any, let's do any function like a square root. So I'm doing the square root of, let's say 100 here. If I do this and I will run this. So as soon as I run this, you see here the B is created here, right? So defining B and initializing it with an expression. So here I'm writing the variable with some expression, and here earlier I am assigning some value. So MATLAB will definitely execute this statement and return the value 10. Now there are a few points. Please note that once variable is entered into the system, you can refer to it later. If you want to refer this and throughout your program, you can refer that. And variable must have the value before they are used. You cannot use the variable before they get assigned some values. So variable must have values before they are used. When an expression returns a result that is not assigned to any variable, the system assigns it to a variable named called ANS, and it is a special variable and which can be used later. Now let's take the example. So in command window I'm trying 10 plus 20, and if I hit enter, you see this ANS variable is created. So when an expression returns a result that is not assigned to any variable, the system assigned is to the variable, and that name of the variable is ANS. And we can even use this variable in the later application. So let me try out this. What I'm gonna do here, let's say we are trying square root. Okay, square root of any value. Let's say 50. I'm trying square root of 50. And if I hit enter, again this ANS variable is created. Okay, now the variable is loaded into the workspace. And if I try here, let's say C is equal to 20 division of this ANS. I can use this variable, and that's possible. And if I end the statement and run script, you can get the value of C. You can use that once it is getting created and loaded in the workspace. You can use that ANS variable. So MATLAB will execute the different statements, like whatever the statement you write in the script as well as in the command window, it executes that. Also, you can have the multiple assignments on the same line. Take an example. I'm doing here small a is equal to 2 or 1. Then small b is equal to 2. Small c or d, because c is already used. So d is equal to 3. This is a multiple assignment on the same line. And if I run this, it will work. So you can have the multiple assignment. If I try with who, it should list the names of the defined variable, and it is listing down a, b, small b, small c, small d is defined. And as it is case sensitive, it is clearly reflecting the this a and small a and big A also as a different variables. When I say WHOS, that is list the name and size of the defined variable. And if I hit enter, it gives the name of the variable along with the size and whatever the class. So it gives all details. Again, if I say CLC, it clears the command window. If I say clear, then it clears the workspace window as well. So everything is clear now. And if I say CLC, again the command window is clear. Now let's have a look about the special variable. If I say pi and if I enter, it shows the value. If I say EPS and enter the value, it shows that value. These are the special variables, and this is all about the MATLAB variables. And definitely you need this MATLAB variables in coming future. As soon as you will progress, you will learn more in the programming language. Now let's talk about the MATLAB commands. MATLAB is an interactive program for numerical computation and data visualization. In command window, we just have to enter a specific command by typing it at the MATLAB prompt. MATLAB provides various commands, and that various commands are used for different applications, and that are managing a session, working with the system, input and output commands, vector, matrix and array commands, plotting commands. These all are MATLAB commands and used for the various applications. Let's see more in detail. This is all about the MATLAB commands. Now, what is M file? So far, we have used MATLAB environment as a calculator. However, MATLAB is also a powerful programming language as well as an interactive computational environment. Just before, we have learned MATLAB commands, and I also explained how to enter commands from the MATLAB command prompt. MATLAB also allows you to write a series of commands into a file and execute the file as a complete unit, like writing a function and calling it, and that is called the MATLAB M script. MATLAB allows writing two kinds of program files. The first is a scripts. Script file or program file with a .m extension. In this file, you write a series of commands which you want to execute together. Scripts do not accept inputs and do not return any outputs. They operate on a data in the workspace. The next is a functions. Functions files are also program files with a .m extension. Functions can accept inputs and return outputs. Internal variables are local to the function. So what is the difference in the scripts and functions? The biggest difference is it doesn't accept any inputs and even not return any outputs. But on the other hand, function accept the input and return the output. You can use the MATLAB editor or any other text editor to create your own M file. A MATLAB M script file contains the multiple sequential lines of MATLAB commands and function calls. To create a script file, you need to use a MATLAB editor. You can open the MATLAB editor in two ways. Either you can use the MATLAB command prompt or you can use IDE. The same way for running your M script. Either you can use IDE to run the script or you can use the command prompt to run the script. Now let's open the MATLAB editor, create a program and run it. Now the MATLAB is open, but the point is we don't see the MATLAB editor. Now let's see the different ways to open the MATLAB editor. And there are two ways. Either you can use the command prompt, and this is a command prompt, or you can directly use the IDE. IDE is very simple. You go here and just say the new script, and here is the IDE open. But let me close this. So this is one way, and the another way is to use command prompt. To use the command prompt, you just have to type the command edit and enter. So you see the MATLAB editor is open now. So there are two ways to open, and also same for the running. But before running, let's create a program. Simple program I will create here. Let's say I'll define two variables. A is equal to 10. Okay. Then B is equal to, let's say 20. And I want to do the C is equal to, let's say A into B. Okay. And I also want to create one array. Let's say array1 equal to, and I'll pass some argument here. 2, 4, 6, 8. And again, plot. Okay. Now I just created a script. There are two ways to run. Either you can directly hit this button, that is a run button, very simple. And the other way, just typing the file name. But so far we have not saved a file. So even if I will hit the run button, let me try, it will ask to save the file. So I will say the sample program. And now the file is saved. And even you can see the plot, which I just tried here using the MATLAB command plot. So again, the file is open and it is run. The another way to run file in the command prompt, just to type the file name of the file without any extension. So here my name of the program is a sample program, right? So I will just write down sample program and hit enter. Yeah, so I did the mistake while typing the name of the file, so it corrected me itself. So I'll just enter and you see again the file is run. So there are two ways to run. So very simple, and this is how the MATLAB script works. So here you can write anything, whatever you want to write, the function, whatever your application need is. I just did here the multiplication. You see here A, B, and C is the multiplication, but you can do anything here, arithmetic, any logical operations or anything. So and that is the beauty of MATLAB script. You can do the plotting, you can go for the histogram, the way you want. And that's all which is under the M script. This is just the introductory part of the M script. Going ahead, I will make sure that you will understand more and more about the programming in the MATLAB script. After watching this video, I'm sure that you are one step ahead on understanding MATLAB programming, MATLAB syntax, MATLAB variables, commands, and surely you are now ready to create MATLAB M script. Then please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, then hit that subscribe button. Now you're going to get the notification anytime new contents like that comes out. And lastly, if you have any queries on this topic you want to see me cover in the future, leave me your comments below. I read them all. That's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.